join me in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mandy, could you please call the roll?
Young.
Here.
Randall. Here. Butler.
Here.
And Stratton.
Here.
Carlstone and Hopkins may be joining vehicle.
The City Council has adopted a code of civility. As elected officials, we pledge to promote civility through extending respect to others, listening to understand, disagreeing without disrespect, engaging collaboratively, and speaking up to address incivility. Just as a reminder, this meeting is being recorded and broadcast for Pella TV, so anyone who wishes to speak to council, please come to that microphone before speaking so that those at home can hear and see you. Before we approve the tentative agenda, we need to remove agenda item E9, the Raycom contract. That needs to be pulled from the agenda. Did you know why? Do we need to okay. So I'll need a motion to remove this item. I'm sorry.
It's E3,
What did I say?
E9.
I just can't read. It says E3 here. So I need a motion to remove this item from the tentative agenda.
So moved.
Support. Butler, Van Strylen, any discussion? Okay, all in favor, please say yes. Opposed, no. Mandy, please call the roll.
Butler.
Yes.
And Strylen.
Yes.
Young.
Yes.
Randall.
Yes.
Hopkins.
Yes.
Motion passed. And now I'll need a motion to approve the tentative agenda as amended.
So moved.
Support.
Miranda Horst Young, any discussion? Okay, all in favor, please say yes. Opposed, no. Mandy, please call the roll.
Randall.
Yes.
Young.
Yes.
Butler.
Yes.
Hopkins.
Yes.
And Stratton.
Yes.
Motion passed. This time we have opportunity for a public forum. Anyone wishing to address the council regarding the now amended agenda. Any item on there, please step forward to the microphone, state your name and address, and please limit your comments to 3 minutes.
Dwight Young, 2509 Schulte Straat. Why did we take the item off the agenda?
You want to explain that, Mike?
Yes, be happy to. For the radio system purchase, there's also a lease that is required for communication equipment that's located on the radio tower, and it will need to be considered at the same time. And so what we're hoping to have that back as soon as possible, and it could be as early as August 5th, that both items will be on the agenda.
Thank you very much.
Anyone else? All right, we'll move on. I'll entertain a motion for approval of the consent agenda.
So moved.
Support.
Van Strylen, Brandon Horst, any discussion? Okay, all in favor, please say yes. Opposed, no. Mandy, please call the roll.
Van Strylen.
Yes.
Randall.
Yes.
Butler.
Yes.
Hopkins.
Yes.
Young.
Yes. Motion passed. Moving on to the first of many resolutions this evening. Number 6880, entitled Resolution Accepting Public Improvements for Prairie Ridge EPCON Plat 1. Mike?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I'd be happy to explain this item for those in attendance and those watching at home. I'd like to direct your attention to the big board for a brief presentation on this item. Mayor Ward stated what we're entertaining with this resolution is acceptance of public improvements for the EPCON subdivision. Now, the engineer for the project was McClure Engineering, and they certified that the improvements that we're considering seeking have been built according to these standards on this as well. Now, overall, when we talk about the EPCON subdivision, if you were to go over here, the next item will be able to see a little bit better of the map, but the West Side Social Club is over here, and Chick-fil-A would be right over here, Fifield Road is right up here. But overall, with the public improvements involved is storm sewer, sanitary sewer, as well as street pavement, and we also have a trail extension as well. So with this resolution, it simply accepts the public improvements, and staff is recommending approval this evening, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, thank you, Mike. Can I get a motion for approval?
So moved.
Miranda Horst Young, any discussion? Okay, all in favor, please say yes. Opposed, no. Mandy, please call the roll.
Randall.
Yes.
Young.
Yes.
Butler.
Yes.
Hopkins.
Yes.
Dan Stryland.
Yes.
Motion passed. Moving on, resolution number 6881, entitled Resolution of Pella City Council approving final plat of Prairie Ridge Epcon Plat 1, Pella, Iowa. Mike?
Be happy to explain this item in Mr. Mayor. The API group is background on this item has submitted the final plat for the Epcon Plat 1. We earlier accepted the public improvements for the subdivision. Overall, the subdivision is roughly 10.58 acres. Now, as we stated earlier, it is located on Fifield Road. It is this green highlighted area. Once again, the West Side Social is right over here. Chick-fil-A is over here as well. Now, overall, when we're talking about the plat this evening, what's being proposed is 36 buildable lots with townhomes and single-family attached structures that is planned for the development. It is important to note the council did approve the preliminary plat on March 29, 2024. So let's go ahead, please, Mandy. Now, overall, it's very important to note that the planning documents this evening have been reviewed by legal counsel. In addition, the Planning and Zoning Commission unanimously approved the final plat at their April 28 meeting. And based on these findings, staff is recommending approval this evening.
Okay, thank you, Mike. Can I get a motion for approval?
So moved. Support.
Ms. Stryland, DeYoung, any discussion? Okay, all in favor, please say yes. Opposed, no. Mandy, please call the roll.
Dan Stryland.
Yes.
DeYoung.
Yes.
Vanderhorst.
Yes.
Butler.
Yes.
Hopkins.
Yes.
Motion passed. Resolution number 6883, entitled Resolution Approving Change Order Number 1, Final Quantity Adjustment Miscellaneous Items and Accepting the Public Improvements for the 609 East First Street Buildings Demolition Project. Mike?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, we have to explain this item. As Mayor DeWart stated, what we're entertaining this evening is final quantities adjustment for the demolition of the second Christian Reformed Church that we have this evening. So it's located in the red highlighted area. Let's go ahead, Andy, and move to the next page. Now, overall, we are seeing a contract reduction this evening when we talk about final quantities adjustment. What we're simply doing is reconciling what was actually placed as far as materials for the project in the ground versus what was actually bid for the project. In this case, we have a reduction in the contract of roughly $2,700. Council were to approve this agreement or this change order this evening, we'd be left with a final contract amount of $164,300. The engineer for the project is Mr. Bob Beach of Greenwood Consultants, and they are recommending acceptance this evening. Staff is also in agreement with that recommendation. We are recommending approval of this resolution this evening.
Okay, thank you, Mike. Can I get a motion for approval?
So moved.
Support.
Vanderhorst and Stryland. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor, please say yes. Opposed, no. Mandy, please call the roll.
Vanderhorst.
Yes.
Dan Stryland.
Yes.
DeYoung.
Yes.
Butler.
Yes.
Hopkins.
Yes.
Motion passed. Resolution number 6884, entitled Resolution Approving Ordering the Preparation of Plans and Specifications, Form of Contract, Notice of Hearing, and Notice of Letting, setting date for public hearing, authorizing the taking of bids, and authorizing bid opening for the Pella Public Library 2025 HVAC modifications, Phase 1 project. Mike?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I'd be happy to explain this item. As Mayor DeWart stated, what we're simply doing with this resolution is establishing August 19th. It's the public hearing date for the proposed modifications or repairs to this library's HVAC system. Council order approved this resolution. We actually conducted bid letting on this project on August 5th, and hopefully we'll have a construction contract to present to council on August 19th. Council order to proceed with this project. We'd be looking at a notice to proceed on September 2nd, hopefully have final completion done by the spring of next year. And overall, Dean String Kim is the engineer on this project. The engineer's opinion cost is approximately $280,000 for this improvement.
Okay, thank you, Mike. Can I get a motion for approval?
So moved.
Support.
Ms. Stryland, Vanderhorst, any discussion? Okay, all in favor, please say yes. Opposed, no. Mandy, please call the roll.
Dan Stryland.
Yes.
Vanderhorst.
Yes.
Butler.
Yes.
Hopkins.
Yes.
DeYoung.
Yes. Motion passed. Resolution number 6885, entitled Resolution Approving Airport Management Agreement with Classic Aviation.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, once again, I'd like to direct everyone's attention to the big board for a presentation on this item. As Mayor DeWart stated, what this resolution would do is approve a contract with Classic Aviation for airport management. And what the airport management does is it's responsible for all operations and maintenance activities at Pella highlights of the agreement, the biggest item that we have with this is there was an increase to the monthly fees for this. And so if you're to look at it on an annual basis, currently Classic Aviation has a base compensation amount of $63,000 for operation of Pella Airport. What's being proposed in this agreement is increasing that to $120,000, which is just shy of a $57,000 increase. Now, to help offset this increase and what's been consistent with our latest budget on this as well, we are looking at user fees and increasing user fees to offset some of these increases. Specifically, over the next 60 to 90 days, we're going to be considering ground lease amendments for hangars that are located on the apron. To offset these increases, or what's going to be proposed with these ground leases, we believe could fund up to 50% of the proposed increase, which would leave the city's increase being somewhere in the neighborhood of about $27,000 to $28,000, which means that the compensation coming in support of property taxes would be about $90,000 to $91,000. Now, overall, Mr. Mayor, staff is recommending approval of this agreement this evening. We'd be happy to answer any questions the council may have on this item.
All right, thank you, Mike. Can I get a motion for approval?
So moved.
Support. Vanderhorst, DeYoung, any discussion? Okay, all in favor, please say yes. Opposed, no. Mandy, please call the roll.
Vanderhorst.
Yes.
DeYoung.
Yes.
Butler.
Yes.
Hopkins.
yes,
Dan Stryland.
Yes.
Motion passed. Resolution number 886, entitled Resolution Fixing Date for a Public Hearing on the Proposal to Lease Certain Facilities at the Pella Airport to Classic Aviation, Inc., and providing for publication thereof. Mike?
Yeah, to explain this item, Mr. Mayor. As Mayor DeWart stated, with this resolution, it's simply doing is establishing August 5th as the public hearing date for proposed lease of Classic Aviation for them to serve as fixed-base operator for the Pella Municipal Airport. To explain this, when we look at the airport management agreement, which we just approved in the previous resolution, that is for maintenance of the runway and other city-owned assets at the airport. The fixed-base operator lease is actually providing service to the users of the airport, and with that, they will be utilizing city facilities, and they will be leasing those facilities. And what's being proposed is a 5-year lease that would correspond with the management agreement that we just approved for the city. So what we're really doing is there'll be more details on August 5th. It's establishing August 5th as the public hearing date for the proposed FBO lease.
Okay, thank you, Mike. Can I get a motion for approval?
So moved.
Support.
Mr. Island, Vanderhorst, any discussion? All in favor, please say yes. Opposed, no. Mandy, please call the roll.
Dan Stryland.
Yes.
Vanderhorst.
Yes.
Butler.
Yes.
Hopkins.
yes,
DeYoung.
Yes. Motion passed. Resolution number 6887, entitled Resolution Approving the Subordination of the City of Pella's easement interest on property owned by Pella Corporation, generally located 102 Main Street, Pella, Iowa, pursuant to an environmental covenant between Pella Corporation and the Environmental Protection Agency, the EPA. Mike?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, this presentation this evening is actually for agenda items E8 and E9 this evening. As Mayor DeWart stated, what these resolutions would do would approve an environmental covenant. The city would be a subordinate on this for our public utility easements that are located on Pella Corporation's property. Trigen is a corporation that is associated with Pella Corporation. There's a little bit of background on this. The Environmental Protection Agency is requiring Pella Corporation to enter into environmental covenants. Since the city owns public easements on Pella Corporation property, we are also required to sign this document, which we would simply be subordinating our interest in those public utility easements. And for all practical matters, what this means is if we ever have to enter Pella Corporation's property and dig in the public utility easement, because we have certain protocol provisions that we have to follow when entering Pella Corporation's property that's in accordance with the environmental covenants. It's also important to note the city attorney has reviewed these agreements and is recommending approval this evening, and that is also the staff recommendation as well.
Okay, thank you, Mike. Can I get a motion for approval?
So support.
DeYoung and Stryland. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor, please say yes. Opposed, no. Mandy, please call the roll.
DeYoung.
Yes.
Dan Stryland.
Yes.
Vanderhorst.
Yes.
Butler.
Yes.
Hopkins.
yes,
Motion passed. Resolution number 6888, entitled Resolution Approving the Subordination of the City of Pella's easement interest on property owned by Trigen LLC, generally located 102 Main Street, Pella, Iowa, pursuant to an environmental covenant between Trigen LLC and the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA. Do I have a motion for approval?
I move.
Support.
Young Brandon Horse. It's the same deal, just a
Mhm.
different corporation. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor, please say yes. Opposed, no. Mandy, please call the roll.
DeYoung.
Yes.
Vanderhorst.
Yes.
Butler.
Yes.
Hopkins.
yes,
And Stryland.
Yes.
Motion passed. Resolution number 6889, entitled Resolution Approving Professional Services Agreement with HDR Engineering, Inc. for the Pella Municipal Airport Master Plan Update and Airport Layout Plan Update. Mike?
Yeah, happy to explain this item, Mr. Mayor, and Mayor DeWart stated what we're entertaining with this resolution is to propose a contract with HDR. The purpose of this contract is for the development of an airport layout plan. Now, when we talk about an airport layout plan, we're looking at necessary improvements or forecasted necessary improvements at the Pella Municipal Airport over a 20-year planning term. And what we have listed up on the board is a few of the activities that the engineer will be undertaking as a part of this process. It's a rather comprehensive process that will involve both city staff, the airport committee, as well as the airport manager on this, and the city council. As you can see, overall, this process should take about 12 months to complete. So let's go ahead, please, Mandy. Now, as far as the proposed contract that we're considering this evening is the total amount of compensation, $340,000. The good news is 95% of this contract is covered with the federal grant from the Federal Aviation Administration. So the city's responsibility of the $340,000 contract is $17,000. Now, staff has had positive experience working with HDR on previous projects, and we are recommending approval of this resolution this evening.
Okay, thank you, Mike. Can I get a motion for approval?
So moved.
Support.
And Stryland, Brander Horse, any discussion? Okay, all in favor, please say yes. Opposed, no. Mandy, please call the roll.
Dan Stryland.
Yes.
Vanderhorst.
Yes.
Butler.
Yes.
Hopkins.
yes,
DeYoung.
Yes.
Motion passed. Resolution number 6890, entitled Resolution Making Award of Contract for the Molengrot Stormwater Improvements Project. Mike?
Be happy to explain this item, Mr. Mayor. As Mayor DeWart stated, with this resolution, we do is award a construction contract for repairs to the Molengrot Plaza. We do have a picture of a big work of the Molengrot Plaza. The area of the plaza that we're looking to repair is this area that's highlighted right here. I believe it's just outside Midwest One Bank. Now, we did conduct a bid letting on the project, and we received one construction bid for this. And we'll be talking about the completion date on this project, but it was from DK Concrete, and if we stick with the September 15th completion date, we're looking at a project cost of just shy of $96,000. There's about an $8,000 discount if we give them until November 15th of this year to complete it. Now, overall, the engineer's opinion of the problem cost was just shy of $50,000. So, in talking about this with Garden and Associates, we believe the tight timeframe for the project led to the lack of bids for the project as well. But it is important that we do stop the water infiltration in the city's parking garage that is located just below the Molengrot Plaza. Also, in considering this item, we'd like to point out to council that any delay of this project, for instance, rebidding the project in the spring of next year, while we may receive more construction bids, the project may conflict with springtime activities within the city, and at the Molengrot Plaza, mainly tulip time as well. So we are recommending approving proceeding with the project, and we did check with the CBB as well as the PACE Alliance on events that are planned for the Molengrot Plaza. One event that we would like to bring to council's attention is Christmas market is scheduled for December 4th through December 6th on this as well. So we are recommending awarding the contract to DK Concrete, but we'd like to have some discussion with council on which date that we want to stick with as far as the completion date for the project. And with that, Mr. Mayor, that concludes the staff presentation.
Okay, thank you, Mike. So I need a motion, which will need to include which completion date you're making a motion to approve.
Is there a penalty for failing to meet the September 15th date?
I'd like to direct that question back to Brad Udemar. Brad, if you could answer the question as far as the penalty and liquidated damages on this project.
there's a $750 per day liquidated damage penalty if they go past.
Any idea of the big discrepancy between your estimate and the bids?
Yeah, so this one, I did not work on directly. Alex Fennig of our office did, with Denny Byard. I believe there's another consultant involved previous to us being involved in it. It's kind of a messy one. It's a specialty project with a chamber underground, the structural layer on top, basically a roof, a membrane that goes on that, and then you've got the brick pavers on the top. So I don't have a lot of explanation for it other than it's not something that gets done every day around here, so.
Well, yeah, I was just gonna say, there's three things as a Pella citizen I don't mess around with: electricity and water mixing, and tulip time. And I know I'm always a very proactive person, so I would be in favor of the earlier date. I understand it's a little more expensive, but I think it allows us to have a little more wiggle room, knowing that we'll be signed, sealed, and delivered by Kirstmark.
And there could be weather involved by November.
Yeah,
So will you make that?
earlier
motion?
date,
You'll make a motion?
yes, yes. I
With the-
move
with the
that
September.
we vote on the September 15th, 2025 completion date.
Support.
Okay, Brander, Horst, DeYoung, any further discussion? Okay, all in favor, please say yes. Opposed, no. Amanda, please call the roll.
Randall.
Yes.
DeYoung.
Yes.
Butler.
Yes.
Hopkins.
yes,
Dan Stryland.
Yes.
Motion passed. Resolution number 6891, entitled Resolution Approving Ordering the Preparation of Plans and Specifications, Form of Contract, Notice of Hearing, and Notice of Letting, setting date for public hearing, authorizing the taking of bids, and authorizing bid opening for the apron expansion project at the Pella Municipal Airport. Mike?
Be happy to explain this item, Mr. Mayor. As council is aware, Pella Corporation is planning on building a new hangar at the Pella Municipal Airport. That project will trigger an expansion of the apron for the project. What we're simply doing with this resolution is establishing August 19th as the public hearing date for the grading portion of the project on this as well. Now, overall, the engineer's opinion of probable cost for the grading portion of the project is $364,000. Council board to approve this resolution. We actually conduct a bid letting on this project on August 12th, and hopefully have a construction contract presented for council's consideration on August 19th. Now, if everything goes as planned, we'll be issuing a notice to proceed on this project on September 15th, and we hopefully have the completion of the grading portion or this project completed by November 21st of this year.
All right, can I get a motion for approval?
So moved.
Mr. Island, DeYoung. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor, please say yes. Opposed, no. Amanda, please call the roll.
Dan Stryland.
Yes.
DeYoung.
Yes.
Randall.
Yes.
Butler.
Yes.
Hopkins.
yes,
Motion passed. Moving on, ordinance number 1075, entitled An Ordinance of the City of Pella, Iowa, amending chapter 171 of the city code to update rates and fees, and this is the first reading. Mike?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, once again, I'd like to direct everyone's attention to the city board for a very brief presentation on this item. And we've previously discussed this item both during the city's budget process as well as separate policy and planning discussion. What we discussed on June 17th, this is the same parameters or same increase that we discussed on June 17th. A little bit of background, I'm proposing to increase development fees and building permit fees on this. These fees have not been increased since 2007, when the city entered into budget discussions last February/March of last year with the state's new property tax regulations on there. What we talked about quite frequently for general fund services is it would be likely necessary that we would have to increase user fees for city services. This is very much in line with those discussions, and what's being proposed with this ordinance is a 30% increase in building permit fees for the average home on there for a more a setback for a $300,000 new home. The average building permit fee increase would be about $500 for the property owner as well. it is important to note, the Building Code of Appeals did approve this ordinance at their June 2nd meeting, and staff is recommending approval of the ordinance this evening.
Okay, can I get a motion for approval?
So moved.
Or,
DeYoung and Stryland, any discussion? Okay, all in favor, please say yes, opposed no. Mandy, please call the roll.
DeYoung,
Yes.
Van Strylen,
yes.
Vanderhorst,
Yes.
Butler,
Yes.
Hawkins.
yes,
Motion passed. Can I get a motion for approval of the abstract of bills number 2179?
Move to approve and issue warrants.
Support.
Vanderhorst and Stryland, any discussion or questions? Okay, all in favor, please say yes, opposed no. Mandy, please call the roll.
Vanderhorst,
Yes.
Van Strylen,
Yes.
DeYoung,
Yes.
Butler,
Yes.
Hawkins.
yes.
Motion passed. Council member, have any other business you want to have addressed?
I don't have any business, I just think it's interesting on this Epcot Plat 1, that Mike mentioned that it was, the preliminary plat was in March of '24. Now they have the infrastructure in, and the final plat's approved over a year later. There's a lot going on here that we don't see, you know? And so it's always like, why isn't this faster? Well, there's a lot of work involved, and I just think it's interesting that it's been a year and 2 or 3 months to get from step 1 to step 2. And they haven't built any houses there yet, I don't think. They're just doing dirt work.
Yeah, developments take time, that's for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, they do. So it's interesting to me, so.
So I have a question, and I don't know. I got an email from a citizen that talked about Big Rock Park being in a state of unkempt or whatever you want to call it. And so I started thinking, I thought about it. I didn't go out to either verify or deny that it was. Talked a lot about trees down and that there hasn't. So I think it was 2019 or maybe it was 2018, which was before I was in this position, there was approval given to a group to put a disc golf course out there, which ended up being quite a controversial issue and discussion. I actually went out with Chris Meyer and walked the course that they had. They had 9 holes, I think. Well, maybe they had 10 holes. They had cement pads for tee box and basket. And so I went out and walked with him, and I thought it was kind of cool. Anyway, so the discussion was about what's that park about? Recreation. So there was a discussion. And it seemed like at the time there was a lot of consternation that we couldn't do both recreation and environmental usage or whatever it is. But I do believe that there was supposed to be a study done, like take a year to study some owl or something the environment for some animal.
Right.
So I'm just curious if anyone knows. I've never heard anything.
Yeah.
I've never heard anything about it again.
I
And it seems to me we should resurrect the discussion about what we should do with that park. I think it's 80 acres given to the city, might be more than that, given to the city by Pete and Lucille Kuiper back in, I don't know, the 60s or whenever it was. So
Right.
do you know anything about it?
I do. The study has been completed. I believe the city does have a copy of the study along with a future plan for the park. There were multiple endangered species that were identified and plants within the park that are all protected under the EPA guidelines. It's a dedicated savanna ecosystem, so it's a very delicate ecosystem, if the park is. And so it would be under the auspice or a protectionary bubble on the EPA since these species have been identified now. So there is a study, it's quite lengthy, very thorough, and then there is also a plan also that was published, and I believe the city has that as well, as to how to proceed and move forward with this savanna ecosystem that we own.
So what does that plan include?
It would include how to do land conservation, how to do preservation, how to protect the endangered species, why you would protect the endangered species, how to eradicate species that you don't want in there. I think there's some sort of, what is the vine, Ann?
We have the wild garlic mustard out there and the honeysuckle that's
Yes.
taking over.
Just kind of how do you move forward when you have such an environment in your possession? But it is very much, now that these species have been identified, it is very much protected by the federal government.
The whole park?
That's my understanding.
So there is no option for any kind of recreational use?
Well, I think what it's called is a word that one could use for that style of recreation is, it's more of an introspective recreation. It's meant for hiking. It's meant for, it's the #1 spot for the Eagle Scouts to do their projects. It's meant for people to stay on trails, not to go off trails to crush these endangered species.
All right.
And it's a neighborhood dog park.
Well, one could say that as well. But
Well,
if
just-
I've missed anything, I know Ann's been active on that group.
So, I'm on the Friends of Big
Can
Rock
you
Park.
get to the mic, please?
Really?
Somebody at home may want to hear this.
I'm on the Friends of Big Rock Park, which is a nonprofit, and we do have a Facebook page that has a lot of the details that we have discovered out there. It's kind of interesting that you bring this up because we have been talking about coming to a city council meeting with our findings. So if we could be put on the agenda sometime, we'd love to share it. It is called a bur oak savanna. It's the rarest form of ecosystem in North America. Just so you know, we also are getting a lot of attention statewide through like Travel Iowa and things because of the trails and things like that. I'm on a few of those websites and they're popping up all over the place about Big Rock Park. So we are being recognized more and more statewide for what we have. Drake and Central and Iowa, I think we're all involved in the studies as well. So any other questions you might have, I can try to answer.
Yeah, well, thanks for the information. I say I got an email.
Are they still
There
playing?
were a lot of
disc-
questions and I had no idea how to answer
Are
it.
they still playing disc golf out there?
No.
I
No,
thought
they
that had
pulled
been
it.
discontinued.
The disc golf was not in regulation with the Disc Golf Association of the United States. You cannot have disc golf next to trails, houses, over parking lots and that type of thing. So it was eliminated, but the pads are still in there.
Cause, yeah, I thought they were still there, yeah.
Yeah.
And it might not be, I mean, I would love to hear from your group.
Would what?
I would love to hear from your group at some.
Yeah.
at
One of the
some
things
point.
we've talked about is back in the 1960s, when I was a youngster, we had a lot of day camps out there that brought in a lot of interest. And it was done through the Recreation and Parks Department. And I have been willing to start writing a curriculum for that if that would be an interest. But these are all things that I think we could be open to get more activity. I know there are bridges out there right now, but we've also talked about how we can get rid of this garlic mustard and how we can get rid of this honeysuckle that's out there. You wanna have quite a scene, you could get the goats. But that would, you have to be very careful with that because you don't want the goats coming in and eating the endangered species.
Right.
And we've had the forester in, the state forester has actually gone through the entire park as well, and they have recommended it as an old growth forest distinction if
two things that just popped into my mind. It seems to me that with this rarity, that your organization could potentially look into some grants for this, since it is so rare.
Yes.
Okay.
Mary Stark has been looking into grants, and she has been doing a fabulous job. We are continuing to move forward with some of this, but I think it'd be beneficial for the council to hear what we've been doing and what we have found out there. We've had what they call forays out there, where they take people around the trails, that type of thing. It's really interesting
Yeah.
what we have out there. I don't think we know what a little gym it is right here in our city.
The other thing that I found interesting when I had a meeting with Adam Farber, he said when they come back to Pella, that's where his kids want to go, Big Rock Park.
And it cannot have electricity out there. It has to stay as natural as possible.
Okay.
That's another one of the stipulations. So,
Okay, thanks for the info. Like I said, I had no idea.
Yeah.
I had heard
That
for
we
4
haven't-
years about anything. There were a lot of questions I couldn't answer, so. So, we'll probably discuss it further at some point. All right? Any member of the public have any other business you'd like to address us with this evening? If so, please come to that microphone, state your name and address. Please limit your comments to 3 minutes. Okay, seeing none, we'll adjourn to policy and planning to discuss, discussion regarding Missouri River Energy Services Residential Customer Survey.
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. As Mayor DeWard stated, what we have is an opportunity for our power supplier, Missouri River, to have a customer survey for our electric utility. Now, looking at it, what the survey would entail with seeking feedback from our customers on utility rates, rebates, energy efficiency rebates, that is, reliability, communication of the utility, responsiveness, and overall customer satisfaction with the utility. Now, as far as the overall cost for the survey, it'd be about $2,000, and the program works where it'd be a 50% local cost share. Missouri River would pick up the other 50%, so the city share would be just over $1,000 for the survey. And it is important to note, as far as the survey would be, is to be entirely online. What we would do is we would advertise in the city's newsletter. There'd be other forms that we would notify the public of it, but it'd be a purely online survey, and it's roughly about $1,000. If we were to proceed with the survey, we should have the results back this December. But I think this is important for us as we plan for a very large investment, but a big project for us, and that's advanced metering infrastructure with that. With that project, it's going to take a lot of communication to the public as well. In addition, through that project, when we talk about smart meter technology, we're going to be looking at adopting a new rate structure for the utility as well through a cost of service study. So the communication would start, but this would give us a good benchmark to really gauge where we're at with the public as far as the electric utility. So we're seeking council direction on the survey this evening.
Well, I think we should do it. I was pretty impressed with the sample or the study that had been done that you shared with us. So a lot of really good information for that kind of cost. I think we should do it, especially with the meter changes we're talking about. Anybody have an issue with it? Okay. Item 2 is funding request from HERDA.
Hey, Mr. Mayor, what we're here to talk about is continue our discussion that we had from May 20th. And for those in the audience that are looking at this, may be hearing about this for the first time, HERDA provides transportation services for the City of Pella. They requested a financial contribution from the city, just over $21,000 for fiscal year 25-26, and it'd be about $2 per capita. At the time, when we talked about HERDA's needs, and they expressed the needs due to tight budgets and similar stuff for governments that are experiencing right now. We also stated, and this came from staff, is that we wanted to make a financial review of HERDA's finances before giving an opinion on the contribution. Now, a couple things to note is HERDA reported to us that they serve, I believe, 9 counties, and approximately within those 9 counties, there's 84 cities. Within those 84 cities, there's 9 cities that are currently paying $2 per capita for HERDA services. And all counties are currently paying at some level for HERDA services as well. Now, as far as the communication that we've had with HERDA staff, what they've informed us is if we don't pay the increase in services is they operate Monday through Friday, and they'd be looking at eliminating the service on Tuesdays. There we go. All right, I got a little bit ahead of myself on this. Now we can go back to the important stuff, the finances, just get in. So let's talk a little bit about the financial review. We looked at their latest audit report that they had, and that's the June 30th audit report. Now, as far as their general fund, they had a fund balance of just shy of $3.6 million. What I really focused on was the size of the cash balance. That's about 62% of their annual expenditures. When we asked about that, along with the next item, we talked about net financial position increase. It looked to me like in FY24 that Herta's general fund balance went up by $422,000. What was reported to us by Herta's staff is that they believe, at least they stated, that the increase was attributed to an infusion of cash from the federal government related to the COVID-19 pandemic, and that was a one-time issue, and it was not an operating issue. They also stated with their cash balance that that's reserved for future capital improvements such as building maintenance, as well as replacement vehicles as well. So overall, the latest audit report that they had fairly healthy balance in the general fund, as well as a net financial position increase, but Herta's staff attributed that to one-time financial increases that were not operating related in nature. And they also stated that the fund balance was reserved for future capital projects. Now let's go ahead and talk about the services, and with it, Herta does provide significant service for the city. And in 2024 calendar year, they provided just shy of 5,800 rides within the city limits, and they have notified us that the city is unable to pay the $2 per capita, that they would be looking to decrease services most likely on Tuesdays for one. They'll stop providing the city for Tuesdays for 1 month on this. So, but they did also reserve inform us that they would look at future service cuts as well if we were unable to pay or contribute financially for it. So, with that, Mr. Mayor, what we're looking for this evening is a response to Herta and their demands for $21,640 for FY26.
Okay, so as I read through this, I had a couple questions. I think it said all counties that they cover are contributing. Do we have any idea what Marion County is contributing?
They said by varying amounts, and they didn't answer the question if everybody was doing $2 per capita, because we asked that, and they said varying amounts. It was our impression not everybody may be at $2 per capita.
Well, I was also going to say I appreciate either you or Brian going through their financials to verify some of this information. I guess the one thing I would be curious about, they have surplus in fiscal year that ended in 24, attributed, they attributed to COVID money. I wonder if they were trending, I don't know if you looked at any historical balance, if the balance has been trending down over, the last while. We may not know that. I mean, it's $21,000, so it's not a huge amount, but those are just questions I had as I read through this, so I'm fine. It's an important service.
It is.
I was gonna say, it's a very important service.
Yeah, so I think we should do it.
I agree.
Yep, I agree. When you need them, you really need them. And that population doesn't have.
We have a lot of citizens that use it. It's
Yep.
very important. And it's cheaper than us starting our own service.
Yeah.
By a ways. Okay, it sounds like we should approve it.
All right, very good.
Okay, these are things we're gonna be updating. What's the status on the dog park? Have we got an agreement hammered out with the county, or not?
For the Corps of Engineers, we have what they're willing to do to support the dog park project. We were in communication with the Dog Park Association. They told us they're fine coming to either August 5th or August 19th. Since this has been on our docket for some time, that one will likely be on August 5th as well. The other items that we have on our list, we will be circling back on, I believe, Kiwanis Park, specifically the discussion on the scheduled for August 19th. And then we do have listed up there too, most likely this will be sometime in September, a stormwater management program, along with an update of the lead service lines, private lead service lines, those would be water service lines as well. So with that, Mr. Mayor, be more than happy to answer any questions on these projects or any other that the city has or is currently entertaining.
Okay? Anybody?
Just a quick question, and I'm sure you've thought of this, Mike, but when we go to discuss the dog park, I would be particularly interested in what is our liability as a community, at being partnering with state-owned land. You know, where do our liabilities land? And also, I would want in writing exactly what is the expectation of our staff. I mean, what is it that we're gonna be doing and or picking up? If you know what I mean. Didn't wanna say it out loud, but I'm sure everyone was thinking it.
Yeah, I think it needs to be a pretty, detailed agreement, so that there's no ambiguity about who's doing what.
Totally.
But I get asked about a dog park a lot,
Oh,
so.
yeah, oh, yeah.
Be nice to get some kind of resolution.
And we've had these two back-to-back rain events, should point out where we need to focus in on improving our drainage seriously. Not like a street full of water and the drain's not taking them. It's fact, you can't build for the max, but, somehow or another we got, we're on the low side of in a few places.
Yeah, I don't know that there's a system that exists that'll handle 5-inch rains, which we seem to get on a regular basis these days. I agree with you. Okay, anything else? All right, then, do I have a motion to enter into closed session pursuant to Iowa Code Chapter 21.5, Paragraph 1C, to discuss strategy with counsel in matters that are presently in litigation or where litigation is imminent, where its disclosure would be likely to prejudice or disadvantage the position of the governmental body in that litigation.
So,
Brenda Horst DeYoung, any discussion? Okay, all in favor, please say yes. Opposed, no. Mandy, please call the roll.
Vanderhorst.
yes.
DeYoung.
Yes.
Butler.
Yes.
Hopkins.
Yes.
Van Strylen.
Yes.
Motion passed. So I want to be as polite as possible, but we're gonna go into closed session, so I'm gonna have to ask all of you to. We will come back after our discussion if anyone's interested. I don't think there'll be any motions coming out of the close. We're back in open session. No one has a motion coming out of closed session that I'm aware of, so I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Support. Brandon Horst, Van Strylen, all in favor, please say yes. Opposed, no. Mandy, please call the roll.
Branderhorst. Van Strylen.
Yes.
DeYoung.
Yes.
Butler.
Yes.
Hopkins.
Yes.
We are adjourned.